This Health Ranger Report Pandemic Podcast is brought to you by NaturalNews.com for uncensored reporting and HealthRangerStore.com for lab-tested preparedness supplies such as storable food, full-face medical masks, biostructured silver first aid gel, and iodine, only while supplies last. March 17th, Pandemic.News update. Mike Adams here with an apology to start out with. I need to apologize for the pace of my presentation of this information. Let me explain it this way. I've been getting a lot of pushback from some people who are not psychologically ready to adjust to the new reality in which we find ourselves. Isolation, global pandemic, stock market crash, things moving rapidly. And frankly, people are getting kind of freaked out about it. And the mistake that I have made is, it was really encapsulated when I was on the Alex Jones show today. And actually, Alex and I have a totally different view about this virus. And so we were kind of disagreeing, kind of bantering back and forth. And Alex said something like, well, hey, Mike, you've got a ranch in Texas. You've got your food squared away. You've got your guns. You've got hit a point with me. I think Alex kind of nailed it right there in that, you see, as a prepper, I've rehearsed these scenarios over and over again, year after year. The reason I live in the country is because for over 20 years, I've expected a global collapse. The reason I have guns and ammo and all these skills that I have, I'm not going to bore you. You've heard me talk about them before. The reason I manufacture colloidal silver and sort of mastered all these different things is because for 20 years, I have been rehearsing in my mind the scenarios that are now unfolding: a stock market crash, a global pandemic, maybe medical martial law, all these things. In my mind, this is old news. But in the minds of most people, this is shocking new territory. And so that's my apology, is I probably haven't taken that into account. And I might need to be a little more gentle, so to speak, in my presentation of this so that people have more time to adjust. Or I could just say, everybody's a snowflake, get up to speed, the virus is moving faster than I am, but that would sound harsh and abrasive. So I'm going to try to present things in a little more of a gentle lavender type of approach with essential oils and relaxing scents. I'm not trying to be satirical. I'm really going to try to make an effort to present this in a more digestible format. Let's say that a dose of probiotics with every podcast. How about that? Digestive enzymes included with every podcast. So we'll have coronavirotase. How about that, to help you digest the coronavirus news? That would be an enzyme. Nevertheless, here we are today at over 1,000 deaths confirmed in the United States, over 6,400 infections in the United States, which is up more than 1,000 from yesterday. So this thing is really taking off across America. And I'm getting more of my sources leaking to me messages that they are certain that this person in that National Guard unit or this person in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers or whatever has been told that X city is going to go under quarantine on X day. I'm getting tons of those messages. So many of those that I'm pretty sure most of them are rumors at this point, just kind of rumors bouncing around, echoing around. But there's usually truth, some element of truth to it. So there's probably a lockdown coming somewhere soon, probably the Northeast is my guess. And this is March 17th here. So I don't, it's probably already happened by the time you hear this, but something big is coming. There's a lockdown coming. And it is important to mentally rehearse what this means. So the more, actually, I think, let me say it this way. The more you listen to this Health Ranger Report podcast, I think the more mental rehearsal you will have in advance of things that are coming. Because I talk about what's coming. I'm ahead of the curve by far. In fact, that's what freaks people out, is not my accuracy, because over time I'm almost always accurate. It's that I'm too far ahead of the mental rehearsals of many other people who haven't yet gone there. They haven't yet thought about that. And it's abrasive to them. It's a psychological shock to have to say, oh, how can I survive in my home for 60 days with no outside food or something? It's a shock to people. And so the first reaction that people have is kind of that knee-jerk reaction, is to say that can't possibly be true. I don't feel comfortable with that thought, and so I'm going to make up some reason why that can't be true. And I think that's the process of denialism that we're seeing now, where we have many, especially conservatives, are saying that in their view, the whole thing is a hoax, a scam. There's no virus. Nobody's dying. Nobody. Literally, now this has become mainstream conservatism. I mean, the prominent publishers, writers, radio hosts like Rush Limbaugh and whatever, they're all saying the same thing, that in their view, this is a hoax. There's no virus. Nobody's dying in Italy. There are no deaths. No hospitals being overrun. That the whole thing is a giant globalist scam run by 100 plus countries who all conspired to lock everybody down and crush their own local economies for some reason. This is the scenario that's being promoted. And I finally have come to understand why. It's because they're grasping at explanations in order to avoid going through the mental process of crunching the reality that's happening to them. Anyway, the summary of all of this is that there's going to be a mental adjustment period, a psychological adjustment for everybody. And Chris Martenson from Peak Prosperity, he says it best. He says, if and I don't mean to sound condescending, this is his quote, but he says, if you have a problem with the facts, the problem is not with the facts, the problem is with you. That's his quote. And what he means by that is that this adjustment response to the reality of what's happening, this is something that people have different speeds about. Some people are fast at it. Some people are slow. Some people have gone through rehearsals a lot like I have over the years. And that's why, to me, this scenario that we're experiencing is not alien to me. It's not foreign to me. And also, I've lived in other countries around the world, and I've seen a lot of weird, crazy stuff in my life already. So I've probably had more diverse experiences than most typical people. So to me, this is not that unusual. I mean, to imagine, it's not that unusual. Even the collapse of society is something that I've read about in books by Rawls, and audio books and fiction and movies, and then I've planned for it myself and I've prepped for it myself and so on. So a lot of us who are preppers, we've done lots of mental rehearsals for these. I mean, I've trained so much over the years too, trained in various combat tactics and various scenarios and terrorism rescue, hostage rescue scenarios and all these scenarios and such. So my brain's been through a lot of these things already. In any case, what I'm saying is I'm going to try to make it a little easier to digest as we talk about these things, but ultimately the virus is moving very, very fast. So we have to try to keep pace with it, or get ahead of it. Actually, you got to get ahead of the curve here. Otherwise, if you fall behind the curve, you get annihilated with this virus. So I'll do the best I can. I appreciate your understanding. I appreciate all the words of encouragement. And by the way, if you want to do something useful during your lockdown time, you can download and listen to all the Health Ranger podcasts. If you want to do like a Health Ranger Report marathon, like the Marathon of Doom, you can just listen to all of them back to back, and that'll prepare you for what's coming. How about that? That'd be a fun evening. Or catch up on some reading or some of the other things, or family time. Maybe you're going to be home with your family. That's awesome. That's rare. Spend some time with loved ones. It's a great opportunity to do that. So Mike Adams here, pandemic.news is the website, as you know. Thank you for your support. Thank you for getting prepared so that you can ride this thing out, because it's going to get pretty crazy. Thanks for listening. When it comes to prepping, you not only need good products that can help keep you alive, awake, aware, and nourished during difficult times, you also need products you can trust. At the Health Ranger store, we do extensive laboratory testing using an in-house lab that's ISO accredited. It's inspected, it's audited. It's a 2-year process to even get that accreditation. We use multiple mass spec instruments, state-of-the-art science. I'm a published science author as well, and a patent holder on several technologies, some of which we use variations of in our lab. The purpose of this lab is to help you make sure you get clean foods, superfoods, storable foods for emergency preparedness and survival use. We have a certified organic lab-tested, what's called Ranger Bucket collection of storable foods with some survival gear in the buckets to help you even boil water and cook those foods and so on. It's a fantastic product. We can barely keep it in stock even during normal times. In a crisis, we'll be wiped out of this product because it actually takes us a lot of time to make those products. But if they're in stock, you can get them now at healthrangerstore.com/prepwithmike. In fact, go to that URL, healthrangerstore.com/prepwithmike, and you'll see some of our survival and preparedness supplies, including iodine, colloidal silver products and gel first aid products, storable foods, superfoods, medicinal herbs for first aid, and much more. We have a lot of products for you to help you be self-reliant, to be safe, to survive difficult circumstances, natural disasters, and all kinds of things. If you want to get prepared, do it with us at the Health Ranger store so that you know you're getting safe, clean, laboratory-verified preparedness foods, supplements, and other related products. Again, the URL is healthrangerstore.com/prepwithmike. All one word, no spaces. Prep with Mike. I'm Mike Adams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at healthrangerstore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at healthrangerstore.com.